Hey Kevin, I thought you said these tutorial videos were going to be recorded during a live stream. Now we're shooting one specifically, and I suppose I'm going to have to edit it.
Aren't you the video producer? Isn't that literally your job?
Since when have we ever stuck to job titles around here? I mean, what's your job title?
Head weirdo.
Oh. Well, can't argue with that. Alright, fine, I'll edit the video.
Hello, and yes, that's right, it is a tips, tricks, and tutorials video shot specifically for this. This is not the VOD of a live stream, despite some objections.
Yeah.
This month, I'm doing a lot of commission work, and I don't generally live stream that stuff, but I was doing something today that I thought would make a good tutorial video, so we're just gonna do it and shoot it, and then some people are going to edit it. So this is something that I came up against pretty early on, and I never had a really good solution for until I started experimenting. And so this is what I've come up with, but this is by no means a canonical way of doing it. This is just the thing that I have found works. So let's say you have a foam tube, and the goal is to take this foam tube and to put fleece around it. In this case, it's going to be a leg, but it could be anything. So there's a couple of ways that we can go about doing this. The most common way, and the way I'll bet that a lot of you have experienced, is you're going to drape it. So you're going to put the fleece around it, trim off the excess, and then ladder stitch it from the outside. And that is a very good way of doing it, and that's how a lot of professionals do it, because you are able to blend the seam very nicely if you do that. However, you're not always going to have that kind of time, and it does take quite a lot of time to do that. So the other scenario that you will often face is this, where you've got the foam tube made already and you have the fleece skin made already. And the objective is to get the foam tube inside the fleece tube and to have it lay nicely. So let's go to the top cam here, and we will sort of demonstrate. Let's get the mouse out of the way here. Wouldn't even know it wasn't a live stream, would you? So the very simplest way is kind of the way you're thinking, and this is the way I'll bet a lot of you have just done it, is you literally just do it. You just shove it all up in there, and if you go slow, you can kind of get, now in this case we have a bit of an advantage because this is a tapered tube, so if we put the narrow end and the wide end, it goes in a little bit easier. But once you get near the end, you'll find that you don't have enough resistance. It's going to start collapsing, and it's going to start sort of being tough. Now, one way you can do it is you can sort of get in there if you've got enough space and pinch and just hold very top of your foam tube, and then slowly, and you'll notice I'm also lining up the back seam here with the back of this because we want this in the back. This is going to be a leg. I'm not sure if I mentioned that, but we want to slowly and carefully start inching it down, very gentle. The whole point is here, you don't want to be too aggressive because you don't want to cause any damage. And foam is very delicate, so you want to be nice and gentle with it, but you can generally kind of get it in there. That's not too bad from where we are. This fleece has been sized specifically for this tube, so it's slightly larger. But you can see that once we get it all in there, it's not bad. You do have to work it a little bit and massage it. But here we go. So that was quite easy, right? And that's the way that, you know, I'm sure intuitively just figuring this stuff out, you've probably already done this. So there we go. We have super easy foam tube in the fleece skin. Tutorial done. But is it? What if instead of a solid tube, we throw a little complication in and we have something like this? This is the kind of thing I usually do for a limb, so an arm and a leg. And we want a joint, of course, that will bend in a single direction. So all I do is I cut a simple triangular wedge shape here, and that kind of creates a natural bend. So in this case, it's going to be a knee. And it will only wants to bend one way naturally. So this is a very good way of doing this. However, what you're going to find, of course, now, if you try and, let's go to the top cam again. If you try and do the same thing with this, what you're going to find is you've created a crumple zone. So you're going to get it in there. You're going to get it part of the way through, and suddenly you've got no resistance. You can't push it in any further because it's just collapsing on itself. Now, you could try doing what we did with this one and reaching in and grabbing it from the top and pulling it through. But the problem there, of course, is this is now a weak spot. So if you were to hold the bottom and try and pull this through, you're very likely to tear this in half. And of course, you don't want to do that. So what do you do? What I do to solve this problem is I employ the services of the 2008 National Toy Hall of Fame in Rochester, New York inductee, the stick. In this case, it happens to be a chopstick, but it can be any stick. I've used wooden dowels. This is nice and thin, so it works well. So what we're going to do is introduce some structure into our foam tube here by having a stick inside of it. We want to secure this stick temporarily, so we're going to put it in, and then we're going to secure it at the top with an elastic band. You just want to wrap it around a few times. Don't make it too tight. You are going to want to take it off. Just enough to hold it in there. And now, very gently, now that we've got this level of rigidity, we've got something that's sort of taking the pressure off the foam. Pinch it at the bottom as well to make sure that it's sort of hugging. And now we can have something to push against, you see, as we're pushing it into the foam or over the foam. There we go. So that was way easier than trying to, grab that from the top and not tear the foam in half. So all we have to do now is roll this down a little bit, take our elastic band off. It, of course, isn't cooperating. There we go. And now all we do is just slide the stick out. And there we have it. One leg with a knee joint. No problem. So thank you for joining me. I'm going to wash this and put it back in the kitchen drawer. And stay tuned for more tips, tricks, and tutorials.